What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is October 17th, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 21 with 20 different titles. I have read through this stack, starting off on the DC side, Justice League. So this is the cover A, the foil cover. Really thought it was pretty striking, really enjoyed that one. I have the cover B, Jim Lee, which I thought was also awesome as well, coming in through Midtown. So Justice League, as I said before, completely epic. Man, I love the overall feel to this title once they rebooted it here. Scott Snyder, man, awesome job. So this one is really the prelude to Drowned Earth. If you're going to be reading through that, you have to really read through this, in my opinion. Overall, you have an ancient Atlantean. He kind of explains here, I think his name is like Atlas or Atlos, something of that nature, started with an A. And this guy, what he did was he built like an ancient siren to go out to make a call across the universe to other planets that have water-based dwelling type of people. This happened far in the past, and you know, that's really the key kind of going forward, and they kind of find his ship. Like an ancient Atlantean ship that he used to travel the seas, you know, a long time ago, when Atlantis was up above on the ground at, you know, at this point in time when he was alive. So yeah, so everything really starts from here. He called out, there was an alliance that he called out for, and then there was also alien enemies that came in. I'm gonna leave it at that and say that you really got to read through this to understand how this really all starts out. So they call it a prelude, but man, it really is number one in my opinion. So yeah, Justice League number 10, check it out. Justice League Dark number 4. So, you know, as I said before in the past, I'm not really a magic type of reader. You know, I just don't really enjoy it because you can kind of do anything with it. But this one really trapped me. I started off with Justice League Dark to start off on the Upside Down Man, you know, just more of a spec buy, but man, really enjoy the storyline as it kind of went through. At first, I was not a fan of Wonder Woman, you know, being part of this overall, you know, magical world and group. But yeah, the way they kind of wrote this one in here, they kind of retconned her, you know, to a degree, as far as like how she got her magical powers. You know, she always had it as a child. But yeah, nonetheless, dude, even though there's a retcon in there, really enjoy the storyline overall. So yeah, highly suggest for y'all to pick this one up, and I really enjoy it. Justice League Dark, this is number 4. Sideways. So one of the many new age of superheroes that came out, you know, of the like the 5 or 6 that came out, I felt Sideways was pretty far up there, if not number 1 or 2. You know, I really enjoyed Immortal Men, and I'm really surprised that they kind of discontinued that one. Nonetheless, I have been enjoying Sideways. You know, a lot of comparisons to Peter Parker and Spider-Man, of course. Man, he looks just like him. You know, a lot of his attitude, you know, same type of smart aleck type of always talking while he's fighting. So yeah, that's there, but that's why I enjoy, you know, Spider-Man, so I enjoy it here as well. So yeah, enjoy this one. This one kind of went back a little bit more battles, then they kind of went back and started explaining where he got his powers. Kind of fast forward, they, you know, starting to fight a little bit more fast paced again. So yeah, check it out. Sideways number 9. Damage. So I hear they're going to actually, you know, discontinue this this one series here. Issue number 9 really started to pick up, to tell you the truth. You know, I was not really a fan of the artwork. They changed the artist. The storyline kind of, man, is like really dull. You know, not very much character development anymore. They kind of like, you know, gave up on that. But they kind of started getting back into it a little bit. And to tell you the truth, it, you know, started getting a little bit better, man. I wish that lull did not happen, because that really killed, I think, the viability of his character in a sense. But yeah, again, as you can see, they changed the artwork, and again, the storyline got a little bit better, a little bit more action here, and a little bit kind of like a Weapon X program. It kind of goes back to the lab where he was created. So yeah, enjoy the character development, you know, enjoy the fast pace here that they put into it once again. Damage number 10. One more foil cover. Teen Titans number 23. So this is probably like my number 1 or 2 read of this week. Definitely my top 5. So yeah, this one started out at the end of the very last one. You found out that Roundhouse, who you thought exploded in issue number 21 when they introduced Crush and Roundhouse and Jin, all 3 of those characters, but you thought that he died, that he sacrificed himself. At the end of the last issue, you found out that he was not dead, and this one kind of continues on, explains what happened to him and why he did not contact the team, you know, after he was, you know, he kind of saved himself. through a little bit of science. So yeah, really enjoy this one. They get back into a little bit more of a battle here as well, and you see some more team dynamics of how they kind of communicate together and how they kind of fight together. So, you know, I always enjoy seeing that aspect of any teenage team kind of like growing into a superhero team. You know, always enjoy that little struggle, see how they adjust, you know, what adjustments they make, who's on the outs, things of that nature. Really enjoy that team dynamic. So yeah, this one was, you know, cram-packed full of it, which is really why it was one of my top 3 reads, I say, of this week. So yeah, really enjoy this one, Teen Titans number 23. Venom Annual number 1, and what I hear is this is the absolute first Venom Annual ever, even though they're like on Venom number, like, I don't know, like 354 or something of that nature. So this one was written overall by Donny Cates. You see other writers who are in here as well, but they're kind of like mixed in here. So this storyline overall is pretty cool. They did like a Venom, like then and now, and the way they explain it, you know, is in current time. So this occurs after the during the Donny Cates, the current Donny Cates run. Some of the villains that Venom ran into, and they're explaining that, you know, Venom today is completely different. You know, if you see the news, he has wings, he's like a dragon. This guy's like super ruthless all of a sudden. They find out that Flash Thompson is dead. This is that other Venom. So yeah, pretty cool how the villains are explaining then and now, and this is one of those then, you know, past storylines. They get into 2 or 3 of those storylines, but yeah, really more explaining who Venom is and was. So yeah, pretty cool overall. I love Donny Cates. So yeah, Venom Annual number 1. Was able to pick up one of the variant incentives that came out. This is Carlos Pacheco. This is Shuri number 1. Read through it, kind of skimmed through it, was not a fan overall. This was, I think, the same artist that came on to Captain America, like issue number 700, or when they rebooted. Man, was not really a fan of that, to tell you the truth. But yeah, Shuri number 1, happy to pick up incentive for cover price. Star Wars Darth Vader. So yeah, this is a very, very cool issue right here. So you have this relic, like a Sith relic that was given to Darth Vader. This helmet. And this helmet, you know, has a past, and, you know, full of like Sith energy. This the person who wore this helmet in the past, his name was Mammon, and Darth Vader essentially has like an entire conversation with this character who brought him through his childhood all the way into his how he got into the Sith. His master, he became an apprentice and killed his master. You know, the way of the Sith. So pretty cool, his little backstory here, you know, brand new character they've never really introduced before in the past. Really enjoyed this little backstory here. So yeah, Darth Vader number 22. Thor. Man, so Thor number 6, this was a great epic battle. So this is all really centered around, this is in the future, you have like Old Man Thor, you have, who's I think known as like the Odin, or the wise Odin, I think was what his name was. And then you also have Old Man Wolverine, who has the Phoenix power at this point in time. Everything fighting against Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom apparently has like every single, here it is. He has a Star Brand, he has an Iron Fist, he has a Spirit of Vengeance, and he has a Sorcerer Supreme. So he has like almost every single power out there. Pretty cool epic battle that comes in. So man, love this one. I'm not going to give away, you know, too much of what happens in the overall battle, but man, huge epic battle. You'll have to read this one, man. It was awesome. So I'm going to fast forward to the very end. For those of y'all who don't want spoilers, there was like a brand new quasi new appearance. So here we go. Spoilers coming. You had, and I forgot who called it, but someone had, it may have been Jim Comics, I can't remember, but someone was calling that Loki was this worm, you know, kind of assuming, you know, speculating that he was a worm. True, and he becomes the Loki, the All Butcher, what was it? Loki the Necro God, once he gets his Necro Sword. So yeah, pretty cool, brand new type of power, type of character, you know, fused up with Loki there. All right, Weapon H number 9. So another title, you know, they actually changed up the artist, you know, for the much better at this point in time. But yeah, this whole issue kind of occurs here on Weird World. Pretty cool battle, you know. Weapon H was one of those, you know, it was always going to be action-packed, a lot of fast-paced type of dialogue, action, you know, all the way through. But along the way, there's very, very good character development for the main character, Clay. And I enjoy how he's able to go back and forth. Like, there's no monster issue, you know, he's always in control. And I really enjoy that because, you know, the Hulk was, you know, always never in control. You know, Damage had issues of being in control at one point in time. So yeah, I really enjoy this character overall. Love this one issue, man. Yeah, so Weapon H number 9. Astonishing XMen. This may have been my number 1 read, either number 1 or 2 for this week. So I enjoy all the X titles. You know, I think overall X-Men Red, you know, once that one came out, I really enjoyed that one, maybe my number 1. I think Astonishing X-Men has now become my number 1. Man, this issue, I really enjoy this one. The dialogue and the quick wit banter, you know, between Havoc, you know, a lot of the characters between Havoc, Beast, you know, Warpath gets thrown in there as well. But yeah, just all the comebacks, the humor that's in here, along with the action, love it. So yeah, you have the Reavers who are actually teaming up with the X-Men here. This one issue, they both have teammates who have been captured, and they're going to go back into the prison and kind of break them out. Full action-packed, you know, type of issue with humor all the way through. Really enjoyed this one, and Astonishing X-Men may be my most favorite X-Men title right now, to tell you the truth. All right, one of these amalgam type of characters. This is Infinity Wars Weapon Hex. So this one kind of combined the Laura Kinney, and this is kind of like an alternate reality, you know, that it still kind of follows her history, but mixed in with the like the Sorcerer Supreme magical side of things. Pretty cool overall, you know. If you enjoy, you know, these overall storylines are complete throwaway, you know, but you know, it's those the what if type of storylines, or the multiverse type of storylines. If you're into that, you know, check it out. If you like those type of characters, you know, check this out, in my opinion. But, you know, this will be a complete throwaway. Gamora will, you know, of course, right everything. The universe will unfold, you know, and become right again, I'm sure, at the very end of the storyline. But pretty cool if you enjoy the character overall. So yeah, the Infinity Wars Weapon Hex. Picked one up just for the speculation box. This was the Unstoppable Wasp, number 1. Kind of, you know, thumbed through this one, skimmed over it. The artwork that you see on the outside, same on the inside. Really geared more towards the younger group, the more female younger group. So you had Nadia, who's becoming a pretty good character at this point in time, a more prominent character. She starts this little think tank with the more intelligent younger female Marvel superheroes. So yeah, if you're into that, check it out. Not really my flavor, but yeah, pick this one up just for speculation side of things. Moving on to Image Exosisters. So this is one that I was actually going to pass up on. Jeremy over at the first LCS, my primary LCS that I go to, you know, suggested this one. He knows a humor that I kind of enjoy. He had mentioned that this one was kind of like a Venture Brothers type of humor, and he you know, he really knows that I love Venture Brothers. And after reading through this one, again, I would have, you know, if I thumbed through this one, I would have put it back for sure. I was going to pass on this one, but actually, from his recommendation of a Venture Brother type of humor, totally into it, man. So yeah, artwork, you know, average at best. You know, I'll give this one like a 2.25. But the humor, the banter between these two sisters, who actually have like a law firm, who they specialize like in the supernatural. I believe they both have powers, although I think only one of them displays powers in this one issue. However, man, love the dialogue between these two sisters. The humor is there. If you love Venture Brothers, totally agree with that LCS owner. If you enjoy Venture Brothers, give this one a shot. Because again, I would have completely have passed on this one. But yeah, I am actually going to subscribe to this one. You know, something that completely surprises me. So yeah, Exosisters. Curse words. So love Charles Soule along with Ryan Brown artwork. So I love that God Hates Astronauts title that came out, man. Totally love that one. So yeah, Curse words. This one really overall, they're building up this arch nemesis. You know, this is kind of like his origin story of how his powers kind of came to be, and where his training came from. And some of that's pretty funny. So, you know, this has humor kind of sprinkled, you know, throughout. but not really a comedy. Even though the artwork is zany, it's not really a comedy type of comic, you know, even though it may appear like it on the outside. But yeah, along with the origin of this character here, it's also Margaret, who's kind of going through some issues, because I think she found out that Wizard and Ruby Stitch are her parents, but for some reason she's bringing up in dialogue, and he's completely dismissing her, you know, putting her off. So yeah, enjoy that little emotional side storyline as well. So yeah, Curse Words number 17. Cemetary Beach. So this is one of those type of titles that you know, you have Earth and like another world kind of mixed into it. A lot of those titles out there right now. So what you have, the government, you know, various governments, I think, if I recall from the first issue, found like a portal. They found a portal to get to other worlds in order to colonize other worlds. So they found a world which they colonized, but for some reason, they kind of left it alone for many decades. So along the way, the colony that started, they have created their own culture. You know, they're living by themselves. They do not want Earth to come, you know, into contact with them again, because they're completely happy with what they have. So now you have, you know, various factions coming into play, to where you have, you know, somewhat like spies from each group kind of passing through the portal to try to see like what's going on. This one was extremely fast-paced, like all the way through, kind of like a chase all the way through. Really enjoyed this one title. A lot more fast-paced than the last issue. The last issue kind of really set up the storyline. I think this issue, or the title overall, is going to be really good, really satisfying. So yeah, Cemetery Beach number 2. Gideon Falls number 7. So I love horror. This is a great horror type of storyline. The artwork to go along with the horror type of storyline, like 4.75 out of 5 in my opinion. This one starts a new arc. That last one was called, I think, The Black Church. I think is what that first story arc was called. Loved it. So this one kind of a little bit slower paced, kind of setting up this new story arc that's coming into play, introducing a few new characters along the way as well. If you missed that first story arc, I highly suggest for you to pick up that first story arc in trade. You know, if you love horror, I highly suggest this one title. After you read that, get into the second story arc. It looks pretty good. So yeah, Gideon Falls number 7. Picked up one from Boom Studio, Black Badge. Loved that first issue that came out, man. So what you have are Boy Scouts who are like the extreme top tier Boy Scouts. They go through trials. Once they pass through the trials, come to find out that it's actually a government recruiting program to get these Boy Scouts into like a super spy type of status called the Black Badge, to do international type of all types of military type of missions, from like espionage to assassinations. I think they went to on a rescue mission to transport someone to like another country here in this one. Very, very cool. Love the dialogue. You have a team who's been together for a while, but they have one newbie, which they introduced in the very first issue. So you know, he's trying to get part of the group. They kind of talk about some of their historical missions that they went on. Some were not too good. They introduced this new villain called, I think it was like the Hook. I think his name is the Hook. And he actually kidnapped some of these Boy Scout or Black Badge Boy Scouts along the way. So yeah, they kind of built him up. They kind of just talked about him here. I'm sure we're going to run into him here a few issues. But yeah, really enjoy this title. Very action-packed. Definitely my top 5 reads this week. Black Badge number 3. The Mall number 2. So this is yet another title that's been optioned for a movie. So if you find that number 1, definitely pick it up, definitely buy it. If you find that variant, definitely pick up that one variant. So yeah, this one kind of picks up where we left off. There's a dead body here, and they're trying to get rid of it as the cops come into the mall. Pretty cool, very, very fast paced. A lot more character development that kind of goes on in this one title. So the group of 3 teenagers who inherit, let's say, each one inherits a store, really all mob based. But yeah, you kind of see the dynamics between each of the characters, a little bit more character development in their private life, you know, back at school. So yeah, really enjoy it. The Mall, check it out. All right, last one for you from Scout Comics. This one is called The Source. So this is cover A. I have one more cover A coming in from Midtown. I had like 2 or 3 of the glow-in-the-dark cover C's coming in as well. So I was really looking forward to this one. Yet another magic type of title that, you know, really delving into, you know, more of the magic world here. So this one, you're just reading the premise, it sounded very, very cool. After reading through this one, man, love it. If y'all enjoyed the Magic Order by Mark Millar, part of that Netflix world that's coming out, this one truly rivals with the Magic Order. You know, a little bit different, you know, but a lot of good comparisons between the two. Love this one, man. I am definitely going to subscribe to this one overall. You have this main character who, you know, he's not aware of any magic type of world, you know, whatsoever. Earth is just a regular type of place. But however, he has a grandmother that he cares for called Nana. And you have this guy who's clearly a magic user. They don't get too much into his history here, but he kills his grandmother, and that kind of sets off the storyline overall. So you have one more like good character being introduced here as well, who kind of saves our main character, but you find out our character actually is a magic user as well. He just did not know it. So it's going to be one of those storylines. Man, this looks really, really good. You know, the artwork, I would give this artwork maybe like a 3.75 out of 5. You know, I wish the artwork was just a little bit better, but man, great storyline. I am highly looking forward to number 2. I think this may be my most favorite read for this week. So guys, that's going to be it for this week. A lot of good reads in there. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.